The home of the common Joe and the common Sally in the know, even more so than all those media talking heads. As Randy Quaid once famously said on the movie Days of Thunder, starring Tom Cruise, to his character Cole Trickle, we got ourselves a sponsor. Well, at least for a short time. I'd like to thank Eric Mofield of Moe's Woodsmith Shop. As you can see, this exquisite board that he gave me. Excellent cutting board. He does a lot of woodwork. He does it all handcrafted, no lasers whatsoever. Handcrafted stuff. And he was also on a show on the History Channel called Forged by Fire, Beat the Judges. So if you get a chance, he's a fellow Oklahoman. For all the Oklahoma people that frequent my channel, you can contact him at mofield806@gmail.com. And he also has his phone number here on this business card. So give him a shout out. Anything you want on a piece of wood, this man can do it. If you want a picture of Jennifer Lopez on a piece of board, Eric Mofield, your man at Moe's Woodsmith Shop. Now, let's get to the show. Looks like I may have a conflict of interest between our two Crimson Nations, that being Alabama and Oklahoma, of course. It seems that Pete Thamel of Yahoo Sports is saying that possibly Nick Saban may be interested in Jeff Lebby. Will Oklahoma try to outbid Alabama for Jeff Lebby if Alabama comes calling? Let's talk about it. Here we go again on our own, like that old White Snake song that I like to reference ever so often because they are one of the most underrated hard rock groups, hair bands of all time. Now, this is the OCF, that's the Outlaw of College Football, also known as JPC, that's me, Jesse Paul Clark on Facebook, spelled J-S-S-E without the I, also on Twitter at OCF Productions. Now, getting right to it. I was just haphazardly throwing this name around the other day with my former podcast partner, Jonathan Lewis, and I was saying, I started to mention Jeff Lebby in Alabama's offensive coordinator candidate list, but I didn't really think that was something that Nick Saban in Alabama was going to look at. But from what Pete Thamel is saying, it seems like maybe Nick Saban would be interested in Jeff Lebby. And for a lot of Oklahoma fans out there, maybe not 50%, but a contingent of Oklahoma fans, I'd say 35 to 40%, some of them are not really sold on Jeff Lebby to begin with. So I don't think Oklahoma would really shed any tears over this if Jeff Lebby were to decide to go to Alabama. So you're like, well, why would Nick Saban want Jeff Lebby? He has not really proven himself. He's only been an offensive coordinator for 1 year. But the thing is, Nick Saban had Jeff Lebby's mentor, Lane Kiffin, as an offensive coordinator, I think, for about 3 or 4 years. And while Saban doesn't like some of the personal stuff that Lane Kiffin does, Saban's smart enough to know that Lane Kiffin is an offensive genius. And if he tutored Jeff Lebby, then maybe Jeff Lebby could bring some of the Lane Kiffin stuff back to Alabama, which during that time was some of the most impressive offenses because of the limited quarterbacks that Lane Kiffin had to work with in his early stint at Alabama. As you know, he had Blake Sims, who was a converted running back to quarterback, and then he had Jacob Coker, who wasn't much better. And he won a national championship with Jacob Coker and won an SEC title with Blake Sims. Now later on he had some better quarterbacks, but the man is an offensive genius. He knows how to tailor offenses to match his talent and whatnot. I mean, it's evident is his success at Ole Miss. And Ole Miss hasn't won a national championship or an SEC title, But at Ole Miss, if you can win 8 to 9 games a year, or even 10, you're probably set for life. So Jeff Lebby, I think that's the big box that he checks, and that's why Pete Thamel's mentioning it. But to me personally, as an Alabama fan, it's not that I'm not impressed with Jeff Lebby. It's just that I just don't know how good the man is. He's had just one season at Oklahoma, and their offense, to me, was hit or miss throughout the season. They had moments where they looked pretty good, and then they had moments where they looked pretty awful. Now, they couldn't help the Texas game. Their starting quarterback was out, so I don't really look at that one as much. But you got to be able to tailor your offense to your players that you got. Now, Lane Kiffin, when he was at Alabama, I don't think the quarterbacks really got injured that much. So he didn't really have to deal with that either, but Jeff Lebby did. I mean, the starting quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, went down, and they struggled for a little bit. But that's because they really just didn't have anybody that could come in and take his place and be adequate that had real experience. I mean, it was a really green quarterback room. Next year won't be like that. Or this year. And I think this will be the year that Jeff Lebby can prove his worth or his unworth. So, I don't know. You guys and gals tell me. You Oklahoma fans out there tell me. Would you be upset if Jeff Lebby were to go to Alabama? Would Oklahoma try to outbid Alabama for his services? Could Oklahoma outbid him for his services? I don't know. How much do you think that the Oklahoma administration and Brent Venables are willing to put up to keep Jeff Lebby? I don't know. And as an Alabama fan, I don't know if that's a rabbit hole we should go down. I think there's much better candidates out there right now. No slight towards Jeff Lebby, but like I said, he is an unproven commodity to me. At this point, he needs another year to prove himself for any other job, whether it be a bigger job or a lateral move like it would be to Alabama. To me, that would be a lateral move because they're two traditional powers. But, you know, with the way Lincoln Riley and Brian Kelly and all these other guys have been acting, I mean, you just never know. Also, another thing I'd like to talk about before we get off here is a surprising move. Kendall Briles left Arkansas for TCU. To me, that was somewhat of a lateral move, maybe even a downward move. Because to me, while TCU did make the playoffs, overall, you know, TCU's in the Big 12, which is losing Texas and Oklahoma soon. And I don't think the conference is going to be as well thought of, to be honest with you. So to me, I really didn't understand that move from Kendall Briles. You guys and gals tell me what you think about all that. And as I said before, all you Alabama and Oklahoma fans, tell me in the comment section what you think about the possibility of Jeff Lebby getting a shot at Alabama, or will Oklahoma try to keep him? Drop it in the comment section. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And as always, KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now officially dismissed.